teach me about bazongas.
I can barely hear you. You have to mean it.
Teach me about bazongas! No.
What is up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the always optimal Dr. Disaster, and Bandai Namco has been on a bit of a negative streak lately. You may remember that they just got criticized heavily for doing this to Asuka in Tekken 8, making her look like a muscular man in a wig.
Ew! Get out of here!
Yeah, fans were pissed off and didn't seem very interested in that swimsuit DLC that they put out a few weeks ago. In fact, the backlash got to be so bad that Harada basically apologized for it, calling the design a bug, which I don't think anyone was buying, but to their credit, they changed this design so that now Asuka looks like this, and it really seemed like maybe Bandai got the message that all of the Western progressive sensibilities that they were trying to pander to were actually unpopular, but clearly they just don't understand yet.
Is he listening to us? I can't tell.
He's listening, he's not understanding.
Yeah, he doesn't even get us, man. We're talking about you.
Just like everyone else, when I first heard that Bandai Namco was doing a remastered Tales of Xillia, I was pretty pumped. A friend of mine is a really big fan of the Tales of games, and he's been trying to get me to play them for a long time, and I didn't really get into them back in the day as much as I wanted to, so this seemed like a pretty good opportunity to dig into the series. It seemed like maybe Bandai Namco might be turning over a new leaf and putting out something that fans would really want.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
But of course, Bandai Namco just cannot help themselves. They are apparently beholden to the modern audience, who want to change everything that used to be good in entertainment into nonsensical shit that just doesn't trigger them and hurt their little fifis. Bandai put out a page online where they listed all the things that they changed in this remastered version of their classic game, and if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of this page, meaning that this was intentionally hidden, but all the way at the very bottom of a very long list, you can see that they changed expressions from the original game. Localizers changed shit in order to appease the modern audience.
Again, we see there is nothing you can possess which I cannot take away.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, I've started uploading some content onto Rumble as well, so make sure that you look for Dr. Disaster over there, and don't forget to follow me on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. I keep a list on there of games lousy with wokeness pinned to the account at all times for your reference, and it looks like Tales of Xillia, the remastered version, will most likely end up belonging on that list. Now, if you aren't familiar with what a localizer does, they take expressions from one language and make sure that they translate properly into another language. As an example, if in an English game a character said, "It's raining cats and dogs outside," that idiom wouldn't translate properly into Japanese necessarily, so a Japanese localizer would likely write something like, "It's raining really hard outside." And as I'm sure most of you are aware, localizers changing shit from the original Japanese sentiments of a game over to English with the intent of making it woke has been a major problem for a long while. Whenever there is a character talking about gender, for example, these progressive schmucks always find a way to change it into an affirmation of gender ideology. As a prime example, though, of the sort of things that I'm talking about, look at what Capcom did with the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster last year. That game censored a variety of things from the original game in order to appease the progressive shitlibs out there. One of the characters in the original game, as an example, talked about commies in an unflattering way, and they changed it in the remaster so that instead he no longer said anything about communists at all, because if there's anything that gamers care about, it's definitely protecting the feelings of left-wing activists. But in Dead Rising, they also did things like remove the portion of the photo mode where players were given points for taking risque photos of female characters because otherwise the blue-haired land whales with the septum rings were gonna lose their shit. Or look at how Square Enix allowed their ethics team to call the shots with regards to how they did Tifa in the Final Fantasy remake. They made sure to restrict her chest so that it didn't offend the HR lady sewer creatures who can't stand the idea that there are males out there looking at a woman who isn't them. This problem is a long-established one that these Japanese companies keep falling for. And none of them, Bandai Namco included quite obviously, seem to learn a damn thing. We hoped that Bandai would get a clue after they fixed the Asuka design in Tekken 8, but the whole experience seems to have gone right over their heads, though I suppose, in fairness, that Tekken 8 controversy happened only a few weeks ago, and obviously this Tales of Xillia Remaster has been in the works for some time. They wouldn't have had the chance to fix the game and remove the bad localization in that time frame, so maybe the fact that they talk about the changed expressions in this game at the very bottom of this long list on this page that they put out, maybe that is a sign that actually Bandai Namco understands that gamers are not going to be happy with this, but at this late stage, maybe they can't change it. But in order to give you an idea as to how buried this is, this announcement that they are changing things from the old game in order to fit into their modern sense of ethics, let's look at all of the changes that they're making to Tales of Xillia in the remaster. It's actually astounding how long the list is. At the top of the page, it has the header, "What's new in Tales of Xillia Remastered?" and then it says, "Back with vivid and beautiful graphics. Grade shop available during first playthrough. Added 50% off items in the grade shop. More than 40 original DLC are available. Autosave function. Enemy encounter toggle function. Retry feature for regular battles. Subtitles available for battle scenes. Dash toggle function. Added exclamation point icons for sub-events to the location map and minimap. Added display of each item on minimap and location map." I'm not even halfway through the page at this point, but you get the idea. This is a massive list of things that they have changed in the game, and most of it reads as a bunch of features that they are quite pleased to announce. And then at the bottom, so that it doesn't seem so much like an announcement, but more of an admission of something they've done that they hope most people will not notice, it says here, "Some expressions were changed from the original work in consideration of ethics. In light of ethics, we have changed some expressions from the original work." Now, what that means precisely has yet to be seen, but we have been through this song and dance so many times by now that we can safely assume that it will not be good. It will almost certainly be more limp-wristed, shit-lib crap, trying not to trigger the most perpetually offended people to have ever lived. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your contempt for this localization crap and Bandai Namco into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.